Let me tell you something. I carry 7 anointings of my life. Each one has a story. What launched me into crusades was Rahab Bonker. I had an experience with him. He came to my city. I was in an uncompleted building. But I closed the account of our church and went to give it to him because it was nothing. And took all our equipment people. I said, go stay in the field the whole week with his men, help them, sleep there. And one of the things you will also learn is how to manage equipment for crusade purposes. You will learn how to. And when on completed building, I don't know if that place can sit up to 500 people. Yeah, it didn't have windows. That's where the church was. They did that, but then before he left, I took that money and went. And he was shocked. And I was surprised that he was shocked because it wasn't more. He said it's not the amount. He said, I have been going around Africa. Your people only take and take and take. He says, it's the first time I'm seeing a pastor come. I said, sir, the reason I did this is because I know people sacrifice to send you here. I want this to help you go to other cities. He shook. That's where, when I got up from that place, I went home. I started dreaming. In nights, I'll be seeing crowds, stadiums. I'll be seeing. That place he was standing during that meeting. A few years after, I stood there. As I lifted my hands like this, sea of head exactly like him. Sea of human beings. Everywhere, the whole road, crossing to all the. I was about to minister to them. The Lord said, do you remember that night? I said, no. He said, you remember that day? I said, yes, sir. He mentioned. He said, you are in it now. That's why I wear many garments. Some people think I'm a teacher. Some people think I'm an evangelist. Some people think I'm a reformer. God asked me to do something when I get here. You see this year, 2001, it has come before. Because a cycle has completed. You know about prophetic cycles. Everything moves in cycles. It's not only women that have menstrual cycles. Yeah. Everything moves in cycles. So where we are now is February. It's still dry season. So if I ask you what will be happening February 2022, you can predict it correctly. Am I correct? Because the key to the future is in the past. That's what Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9 said. Yeah. The things that shall be is what has been. Once a cycle completes, the thing comes up again. You know, we've been seeing all these drums of war. 50 years ago, about this time, it's the same thing. If you check, 66 from that military queue all the way to 70 when the war ended. The last 4 years was exactly that. Oh yes. A young man trained from Britain, he marched from the east. But he was a young man. And he led our people to war. Another young man trained by Britain has emerged again. And he speaks like the original young man. But the other young man, when he matured, started preaching against war. Now we call him Ikemba. The cause is a just cause. But you see, God wants us to learn from history so we don't repeat mistakes. Those who don't learn from the last cycle repeat everything. It's only the good cycles we can bring back. The bad ones, there are lessons in it that can help us And at that time, there was a man from Southwest by the name of Ogbueli. He went into marriage with the North to create a federal government. Now there is a new Ogbueli. And he went into marriage with the North and created government. But the original Awo, the marriage fell apart. And the government jailed him in Calabar. The present Awo, the marriage has fallen apart, but he has not been jailed. Some wisdom can make him avoid being jailed. If he makes all the mistake, he will be in jail. But when the whole thing scattered and wahala all over Southwest, you know, no place is in some zealous young Igbo soldiers, backed up by soldiers from across other tribes. And they decided to intervene. They didn't intervene. It wasn't an Igbo coup. They wanted to bring out from prison and make him president. So the North learned from history and made sure no Igbo whatever is in power in military now. Actually, those things were repeated. But we, the rest of us, have not learned anything. History always repeats itself until somebody learns from it. Hey, you might need to sit for a while. The church is about to go through some tough time at the global level. Whatever we're about to face has happened and has happened before. We need to go and study it so that we know how to handle this. Last time it was Haman. But there was no church then, so he went after the people of God at that time, the church in the wilderness, the Jewish people. And he wanted to exterminate them. He walked with 10 men. They were hanged. The other time, it was Hitler. He wanted to exterminate the Jews. And then after that, black people. And then after that, he walked with 10 men. Now, when the international forces, America stepped into the war and he died, those his 10 men were hanged again, just like the other. And for some mysterious reason, they were just hanged. Why not electric chair? Why not shooting? The one we're about to face is a little horn surrounded by 10 horns. And those 10 horns are 10 men, 10 leaders that will emerge from the global scene. History. There is nothing that you are dealing with in your time or in the future that has not happened before. The early church knew about all the teachings about the Antichrist. They even converted somebody's name, ruling, and his name matched 666. Guess who he was? Emperor Nero. Go and do your research. So the early church dealt with the beast in their time. Whatever we think our generation is facing, because the thing is cooking already. Anybody is only a person without, that will not know the storm that is gathering, that will not be able to. Jesus said you can read the face of the sky, but you are not able to read the signs of the time. It doesn't matter what argument you have, the rapture will remove us before he shows up. We will be there 3.5 years and go in the middle, or we'll be there till the end. Whether it's mid, or post. The truth is that if you study the Bible very well, there are some of those experiences that the saints will meet. But there is a part of it that will be removed from. But to train your people that they will see what or will be a lie. Exam is coming. Everybody's preparing. You are the only one telling your people, don't read. There will be no exam. They will just graduate you. At least prepare them for the last days. The one that prepared them for exam and there was no exam, and the one that did not prepare them, then exam, who is in a better position? The people that are prepared will always be in a better position. So let the rapture come earlier, come in the middle, come in where they are better. Everybody in the church must be armed for battle. The climate has changed. We must stop raising civilians and train all God's people to be warriors.